Bonjour à tous, bienvenue. Aujourd'hui, j'accueille une personne spéciale. Donc, l'interview va être en anglais parce que c'est une personne qui vient des États-Unis et qui habite en France que je vais interviewer. Et c'est un ami que j'ai rencontré à Gap. Et je vais le laisser se présenter et vous dire bonjour. So, hello Altaf, hello my friend.
Hello, my friend Philip.
How
How
are
are
you doing?
you?
Fine, fine, fine. I'm
Yeah,
very
doing great. Yeah,
okay.
doing great.
Happy to have you here with me on the computer.
Hey,
And
same here. Same here.
can you introduce yourself to the people who don't know you?
Okay.
Tell some
Uh,
words about you.
yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Altaf Rahamatulla. I live in Gap, France, with my wife and my two young daughters. Um, Basically, I was born in a small village in the savannah of Guyana, British Guyana, and the village is called Guava Bush. I was raised by my maternal grandparents. My grandfather was born in Fiji, and my grandmother is African and Amerindian descendant ancestry. My grandfather was brought to Guyana as an indentured laborer as a child, and my grandmother was raised there in the country. Her mother was adopted by the Chinese in Guyana, so she was raised by the Chinese, who were close friends of ours as well. I grew up and learned from a diverse set of tradition and cultures from a very young age, and it has always been a part of me. Basically, there was many tradition in our family, many cultures, even religion. Within our own immediate family, there was Hindu, Christianity, Islam, Buddhist, with my brothers and sister. My parents basically left the country when I was young, and they returned like 7 years later to um, to bring us back to the United States. So I immigrated to the United States with my sibling in 1974 to northern Manhattan, neighborhood called Washington Heights. It was uh, it was unbelievable because we lived in a small village. We went to school with no shoes. We didn't have any refrigerator, running toilet, or anything. We came to this huge city, and it was such a great impact for me. And also the sheer amount of people that was there. Anyway, I grew up. I went to school, to the university. I was a really good athlete. In school, academic, I was good, but it was challenging at times. I love sports more than I love academic. So anyway, as an adult, I became a vice president of Merrill Lynch, a financial institution, and later on, I became a physical preparator for professional and amateur athletes. Um, and in 2015, I left everything aside in the United States and had a semi-retirement and moved to France, where I reside now. That's where I met my good friend Philip. And
Yeah.
that's a little about me.
Okay, a little, but I know that you have a long list of things that you've done in your life. I know that for you, you had a movement from your own life to the sports life, because I know this was an event between this, and you start training big and famous um, sports stars, I think.
Yeah.
I can call that. Can you just explain this moment of your life?
Yes, I can. Basically, in 2002, when I was a vice president for Merrill Lynch, we worked with the stock markets, and I was a manager
You worked
for
in an office. That's right.
yeah. So I dealt with a lot of international and domestic partners like Saudi Arabia, China, Switzerland, Japan. Um, And in 2002, I was in a car accident. And within that car accident, I had some spinal injury. So 5 years later, I couldn't walk anymore. I would walk and fall down. I didn't control my bowels. So I had to have spinal surgery done on my neck. So basically, they removed 4 discs from my neck and inserted um, some steel cages. And I was incapacitated for 3 years. Basically, I was in bed. And it was a very difficult moment for me. Because I had my children would come visit me from Canada, and it was hard. I couldn't play with them like I used to. I couldn't do much. So finally, in 2008, my daughter looked at me. It's like really funny, and she started crying. She said, "You're not my daddy," because I was severely medicated from the pain, and it really touched me. And at that moment, I decided I'm going to do my best to just get my life back together. And I started working on different things in my nutrition, some stuff with my mind, and also my physical body. So within a year, I actually changed the way I looked physically. And I also won a competition for transformation in the United States. But importantly, I got off the bed and I started living again. So what I decided was I didn't want to return as a vice president. I want to do something for my future, something that I really love and I can protect my health. So I decided to go into the fitness field. And it was pretty funny. I was driving from New York into Pennsylvania. I used to live in Princeton before. And I said, where's the best place I can start being a trainer, that people are really hard, challenging, and if I can make it there, it should be okay. So I went to a gym and I asked a director, I'd like to be a trainer. And he said, do you have any certification? I said, no. But I said, I can train you. I've been doing it all my life. As also, I've been in the martial art discipline since I was a baby. I have black belt in 4 different disciplines. So he said, okay, come back on Wednesday. It was a Monday, and you can train me. So Tuesday night, I called him and I said, are you ready for the training session? He said, don't worry, just fill out the application and we'll give you a job. But in 3 months, you need to get your national certification. So I said, okay, no problem. So I actually I started my career in Princeton, New Jersey, New York Sports Club. And after that journey, my son, he had a learning disability, one of my child. So he lived in Canada. I asked the mom to send him to me in Pennsylvania so we can work on restoring his verbal memory. So the mom agreed. So he came to Pennsylvania to live with me. So at that time, I wanted to dedicate my life to raising him, to making him be like my other children. So I quit my job and I started doing all my coaching around him, like having clients, and because he was the most important thing. Then he told me one day, Dad, I would love to go into boxing. So I took him to a boxing gym, and there was a trainer there and he wanted to barter with me. So he asked me to train his son and he would train my son, so which I did. The boy was 12 years old, but he had won numerous national titles. So I started training him. And other fighters in the Philadelphia area saw this kid was getting faster and his movements was better. So they started asking who was his trainer. So they said me. So that changed in Pennsylvania. A lot of the MMA fighters, a lot of the boxers started coming to me at this gym I was with my son because he wanted to do boxing. And that's where I started. I trained the world champion. I trained a lot of university wrestlers, soccer club. Some of the kids are in the university now. I have 2 kids that I trained from 12 years old. They're undefeated professional boxers now, 25-0 in the United States. So it was a great, great career. And also I protected my health. I stayed in a field that I can work out when I want. It's less stressful. I was very mindful of my physical stress, emotional stress, and also my chemical stress. So I had to take care of all of that. So the shift came because of that accident into the.
Yeah, I understand that the shift came by the accident, of course, but some of us, we have to wait an accident or something big in our life to change something in our life and maybe to follow your passion. This accident allowed you to follow your passion directly, integrally. I don't know if I say the right word, but and when you followed your passion, you had all this joy, all this commitment without any strength to do it and intention, and you had many good results with you. You have been with your son. You train world famous athletes, and you were in an environment that was perfect for you and for your mind, for your body, for your soul, for everything of you. So it was a great passage, change, move, great move.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I learned, Philip, is that where you place your intention and your attention, that's where your energy flows into.
Yeah, the flow.
So if it's something positive, you're going to be inspired by it, and it'll give you the motivation. So I'm very careful where my intention and my attention goes into, you know, because of my health. I'm not, I have to be careful. And you're right. At a certain stage of your life, you realize that it's fragile. You might not have that long to live. You feel that maybe you're 50, maybe in 30 years you might not be here. You might have had a life-changing experience. So it somehow it awakens you to realize how temporary and fragile life is, and the people you love and the things you love. You really need to be the best you can be to really truly enjoy that, physically, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah. You said it. It was a kind of awakening for you, and everything's changed in years, but maybe in your mind it changed in a few seconds. As soon as you wake up, okay, now it's not the good way I want to live. I want to live this way. It will be good for me, and if it's good for me, it will be for everything in my life.
One of the things, one of the philosophies I had for a long time, I say, always follow your heart, but listen to your mind. Always. It's because in your heart, it tells you what makes you happy. It tells you what you want. I mean, of course, your mind has a lot of the past experience, a lot of things that you have learned, and it'll guide you using common sense. And that's one of the things I've learned. I mean, it's like you said, it's, not to put the word, it's like an awakening, a spiritual awakening, they might call it.
Yeah. So follow your heart and put the energy of your put the mental in help of your heart. That's right.
Well, the thing is, one of the keys, I believe, we need to have something, it's called a coherent brain, right? A coherent brain really deals with my intention. Where do I place my intention? What do I want? What are my goals? What are my wishes? And also a coherent heart, which means elevated emotion. What are the emotions that gives me energy? What it is. What are they? Gratitude, maybe compassion, maybe living in integrity, joy, happiness. We need to combine these two together to actually live. really no.
I understand what I understand in this moment of transition you live. It's that you knew how to take it. You didn't continue your life and before, but you took it. You took the opportunity to change. And some people have the opportunity, but they don't take it. And you knew that you had to take it right
Yeah,
now.
I did not have a choice.
Yeah.
I love my previous life. I loved it. I love what I did, but it wasn't. Uh, if I would listen to myself and say, if you die tomorrow, would you be doing what you're doing today? The answer was no, but I did like what I was doing,
Uh-huh.
you know? So there's no guarantee in life. The
Yeah.
only guarantee is that I'm talking to you right now.
Uh-huh.
And we always have to make the best part of it. I always say, you know, we have to fill our internal library with great, great, great memories. And that internal library is it's up here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and every moment is an opportunity to fill it because we have a second time later on to relive it. I mean, a good example, my dad just passed away a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And I always say, now he has two lives with me. The first life was a physical life that we created these beautiful, beautiful memories together, you know? And his second life with me is for me to sit back and relive these memories. Physically, we cannot create any more memories. We did already. Now I just relive them in my mind.
Yeah. So he's still here. The
He's still
same.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very important, I think, to live and create these wonderful memories because it inspires us.
Exactly.
It,
We can
it
be
gives us
inspired by
internal motivation.
ourselves. Sorry?
No, it motivates us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because we always speak about the inspiration of others, but we can be inspired by ourselves,
Yeah,
by what we did. Maybe if
yeah,
just a little thing, but if we think about this, we can be inspired by what we did in our past life. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
can be our motto.
Yeah. I mean, Philip, I always believe no one could motivate me. No
Yeah.
one can. The motivation has to be internal. I
Yeah.
need to motivate me. Yeah. I mean, you can inspire me,
Uh-huh.
but you can't motivate me. You
Yeah.
can't make me do anything I don't want to do,
Of
but
course.
you can inspire me to do it.
Uh-huh.
You
Right.
know, it's we need that. An internal motivation comes with mental toughness. You have to have that mental toughness to have that internal. Because I'm a I'm an instructor with this coach, Dick Hartzell. He's the inventor of the flex band. We had a conversation a few years ago, and he said, Altaf. I'm like, yeah, 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 coach. He said, the other day, he's 75, right? He said, the other day I was going to run, and my mind told me that, come on, dude, just stay home. You don't have to run today. Just stay home. So I said, Coach, what did you do? He said, I was going to run for 3 miles. I decided to run for 5 miles. That'll teach my mind to shut up next time. So it's the way,
Good stuff.
like Dalai Lama said, is shifting perspective.
Yeah. Shut
Change
up
the
my
lens.
mind. I go.
Yeah,
I like,
so
I like this. It's kind of a martial arts specialist that think like this.
yeah. But it's in life, it's movement, man. It's there's an old thing that I also believe in. We are confined in our lives only by the limits of our own belief, or only the limitations and the barriers that we create limits us.
Yeah, of course.
And we might not be able to ever fulfill our potential if we believe in these limitations and these barriers or these boundaries. We need to go outside of it. you know, go as far as we can, and
Yeah,
and
I believe in that.
you know.
Okay, my friend. So to move on, I'd like to ask you another question.
Yeah.
What kind of message do you have to tell us today? What is your message
Uh,
that you want to give us?
well, the our basic message is like we were talking. You know, don't right now we are confined to our home. We can't leave without an attestation or whatever. Uh, but we are confined a lot every day because we set these limitations on ourselves.
Mm.
We run away. We do this. We need to see what's happening now. Go inside of ourselves. You know, create from today. Create our future.
Yeah.
Map our future. You know, do not predict the future. When we predict our future, we actually live in our, like they say, a familiar past. A past could be with whatever trauma, it could be good, bad. And based on that past, we predict what the future is going to be. Sometimes we need to live in the present and believe in ourselves, follow our follow our heart, listen to our mind, create and map the future to the unknown. It's a beautiful place. Take those steps. You know, a lot of times, you know, what I see is you know, when I was going back when I was in after my accident, what I saw is that, you know, I was addicted not to the drugs, but more to my emotion, to the past. I was addicted to my emotion, and and I was addicted to a lot of medication, the OxyContin, all that good stuff. But in my mind, the confinement, I was addicted to my past. And what do I do? You know, I create a physical reality using all my senses, my eyes, my ears, my tongue, my hands, just to embrace the past. It's like an addiction. How many times, like, we feel we want to get angry? How many times do we feel that, oh, that person did that, you know? Ah, yeah, I know what you're going to do. The message is live your life, man. Live your life, right? Live in the present. Create, map your future into that beautiful unknown. It's a beautiful world that we have. Enjoy it.
I like these two concepts that you talk about, that we have been confined and we are confined and we will be confined because we are confined in our body. It's like a confinement. Yeah. We can do what we do just with the body we have. So I think it's kind of a reflection that I didn't have before, but it's nice to think like this and stop thinking about the past, but because it's also a confinement to stay in the past or to stay maybe in the future. Yeah, you say, like you said, to just all the time predict the future. Will you stuck you in your future and not in the moment, because the moment right now, it's the moment that you can create. The only one you can create something, it's now, and you're right with this. So
it's I think what we have to really think about is, let's say, for instance, thought is the vocabulary of the mind. Actually, the mind is the brain in action. Feelings and emotion is the vocabulary of the body, right? Emotion is energy in action. You know, we need to know how to use that. We need to know how to
focus.
Unlock your potential. Live, surrender, man. Surrender. I've learned through that accident to surrender to the nonsense. And by doing that, we're opening up to all of our possibilities. We're not confined anymore. You know, I asked someone the other day, we were sitting down, I said, what is freedom? They said, well, freedom is going to this country, is going here, is traveling, is doing this. I said, okay. I said, you know, I said, do you ever listen to Bob Marley, man? You know, reggae, yo, yo. I said, he said something that a lot of
Altaf, we had
great spiritual leaders had is mental liberation. Yeah. What they had is mental liberation. Mental liberation is the most important. Once you have that, you're never confined. You're never confined anywhere because you're free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You can be free everywhere. You're here, okay? Because there's some cuttings. Okay, with the video.
So we lost it.
It's coming back. Yeah,
it's coming back now. Yeah, I don't know if you heard the last thing about mental liberation with Bob Marley, the reggae singer.
What did you say? We missed that.
Okay. Basically, that I was saying before, a lot of us look at freedom as being free, not being in jail, not being in the home, to go and all this place. And in his song, he said, hey, mental liberation, to be free in the mind.
Yeah. You stop controlling things. I think too, if you want to be free and to liberate your mind, stopping controlling everything. So emotions, people.
Well, I think we control people because of insecurity and fear. We're insecure about ourselves, or we fear that we're going to lose something, or, you know, so we just control. And what we find is that it's not a good place to be when we do that.
Yeah.
Are we truly happy when we try to control something?
Yeah, good question to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Am I in the right place? Am I happy now to do this? Good.
Yeah, but you know what you got what you have to remember too, emotion, right? Whenever we have an emotion and there's a reaction, a thought, it's energy. It's energy that comes out.
Yeah.
And the energy changes to, it's a frequency. And that frequency sends information to the people around you and the things around you.
Exactly.
So emotion, energy, frequency, information. So if I come into the room and I'm like, you know, see the energy I'm sending, oh, don't talk to that guy, man. Get away from him. I wish he wasn't here. But if I come in like, yo, what's up, man? They say, oh, I like that guy. Bring him here with us, man. We're going to be partying.
It's exactly the energy you have. Everybody wants to be friends with you because you have a big happy energy, and you
it really lights up the room.
Yeah,
you know, it's like they say, the electromagnetic field is lighting up. Yeah, so it's so we have to be very aware. That's the word, aware.
Yeah.
Awareness and mindfulness.
Okay, nice. Thanks for all these keys that you use and to explain to us. I have another question to ask you. We learned a lot of how do you think, how do you feel, etc. But what kind of concrete things that you can give us? What kind of routine do you use, or things you do every day to have this mind, have this way of thinking, and to be
lightning? Well, first of all, I'm the star of my movie. And everyone around me is either, you know, my co-star or a guest, but I'm the star of my movie. When I go, the movie finishes. That's it. Right? You know, there's only one thing I can control. It's not even my thought. I cannot control my thought. But I can control my behavior and my action. I can control that. So I try to be every day, I try to be very aware and mindful of the way I think, I feel, and I act. You know?
Okay, you look after what arrives in your mind, what goes through your head, and you're just a watcher of what's inside. Okay,
Yeah,
without analyzing this.
Yeah, I cannot control what comes in. I cannot control, but I can control the way it's used and the impact it has on other people around me.
Okay, okay. So you let, if we want to be concrete and more in the reality, you let a time between the moment you feel or the moment you think something to react or to act or to produce a result.
Yeah, we have to, you need to, we cannot react to everything, you know? It has to be, you know, I don't know how, it has to be in line with who we are, our action.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we have to live with ourselves.
Okay.
You know, it's not easy, you know, but like my grandma told me, son, sometimes you need to bite your tongue when you speak. So, you know, I don't say anything. Yeah, I think, and also I know, like we spoke before, where my intention and attention is my energy. And, you know, after the accident, Philip, I don't have that much energy like I was when I was 15, 20 years old. I don't. And I really need to be careful where I use it. As silly as it might sound, even my daughter, Rosie, 4-year-old, sometimes when something goes, I said, love, that's going to take away daddy's energy. She's like, okay. Then she does. So it's, we need to do things that would rejuvenate, to give us that energy to keep going, to move, like, that internal motivation to have it.
It talks to me that you put your energy in something who gets you energy, or in something at least who doesn't take you some energy away.
Well, I put things in the things that having that coherent heart, elevated emotion. I put things in things that I know will make me happy. And a lot of times my happiness is the people around me. My family and my friends. And Philip, with me, I know that physically I need to be in the best shape I can be. And mentally, I need to be in the best shape. It's the only way I can love someone. You know, I can't tell you, Philip, I love you, yet I feel like shit. I don't even love myself. I can't tell you I want to have peace with you if I'm not at peace with myself. How can I give you something I don't have?
Of course.
So every day, I try to be 1% better. 1% better than I was yesterday. And in my life, when my eyes were closing, I want to ask the people around me, was I a good friend? Was I a good husband? Was I a good father? Was I a good friend? Was I a good putt? Was I a good this? Because in the end, you know, just like when we go to sleep at night, we want to go to sleep with a smile on our face. It's been a good day. You know, the Native American always wakes up in the morning and say it's a good day to die. You know, because life is temporary. You don't know. You have to live every moment. I know it's a glitch, whatever, like it's your last, because it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
We never know.
Yeah, we never know. Okay, and to
Yeah,
make every day like if it was, it's like if it will be the last one, and to be happy to have this one.
yeah,
Every,
yeah, yeah. I
because every
mean,
day is important in our life, in what we do and what we do with ourselves to do with people around us. Yeah.
yeah. You know, plus I know too, my limitation is set because of my teachers, my family, and all of these things that were put in my mind. If they tell me I can't jump, then I believe I can't jump, but I could jump. You know, you have to really, it's beautiful, the education we have in life and in school, but we also have to use it knowing who we are, what are our potential. Use that knowledge of life and school in using it to achieve our potential, not as a barrier, not as a boundary or even a limitation.
Mhm.
You know, and you know, basically, I just want today to be the best day I can have. It's I'm not saying it's the easiest thing. You know, we're human beings. We have ups and downs, but we can do our best.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing that we can do. We can you know, give the people we love who we truly are, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's something I work on. I try to work on every day. Um, I want these, when it's my time to go, like my father did, I want these memories to be beautiful ones in the hearts and the mind of the people I love, or even the ones that I've touched in my life. And every day I work towards that. It could be going into the garage now to work out, or reading a book on self-discovery, whatever. But 1% better, Philip, every day.
1% is not so much to do every day, and everybody can achieve to do that every day.
Yeah, but
1% is just a step.
yeah, but in 100 days, what do you think, Philip?
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
1,000 days, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. But one day after one, after the other.
Yeah, it's not much, just 1%, 1%, 1%.
Yeah, the results and the reward will be gigantic, will be uh, big.
Yeah, I mean, you will see the world, I think, differently.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really beautiful world out there. There are really beautiful people, nature, everything, culture, traditions. There's a beauty in everything. You know, my daughters, since I'm from Guyana, way back when we used to eat with a big banana leaf with our hands from it. That's our plate. So in our home here in France, I know eating is an art. So with the knife and the fork, and you know, I'm still adjusting to it. You know, I'm open. I'm still adjusting. So you know, my 4-year-old Rosie, when she starts eating with her hand, she looks at the family. Oh, it's Guyanese night. We eat like Guyanese today. You know, it's all the cultures have its beauty, and it's important. Like for instance, if you see someone eating with their hands, it's not so much they're eating with their hands. Their hands are clean. They cleaned it. But the beauty of it is they didn't have plates and fork. They have banana leaves that they ate with. It's it's a tradition, you know. It's something beautiful. Living in the jungle. I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
Maybe in a few months after the confinement will be back, everybody will be back in the jungle. The civilization
yeah,
will end soon.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. So just you know, like I said, every day I try 1% physically and mentally.
Okay.
Um, and you know, like you know, I'm only human, so I try to control my emotion because I can't control anyone or anything, just me. I
I,
can't even control when I die, you know. and my taxes. I can't control that. So.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, my friend, for your sharing. It was very nice, very great sharing of your life, of the things you've done, of the things you are doing right now in your life.
Yep.
My last kind of question, it will be, what is there any information, anything you want to give to people? Anything more?
Well, basically, you know, my thing is just go out there, be the best you can be. Show them who you are. Just go, do it.
Okay.
No boundaries, no limitation, no confinement, mental liberation. Just do it.
Yeah.
Go.
If there's somebody who wants to join you, if it's possible, if they want to speak to you about what you think of the life, is this possible?
Yeah, they can email me.
Yeah.
You can give them my email, altaf.rahamatulla@gmail.com. They can even text me at my phone number, 0688761347. I do have a Facebook page as well. I'm not the greatest social media guy, but I do answer the messenger messages.
Okay, I'll put it down on the description.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm here, and hey, Philip, I like to say too. I mean, there's a lot of things that you do that inspired me as well. I mean, I was just talking to my wife about your transitioning. You know, all the different. You keep moving. Nothing knocks you down, right? You know, it doesn't knock you down. You have that smile, and I remember when we first met. You Cocoon, you were Cocoon Fitness, you were American football, but you do that 1% better. You look at life's possibility. And one of the things too, from what I've seen and realized, you have integrity. You're not afraid to speak what you want to speak the truth, how people would look at you because of that truth, if it's going to help someone else or a community. And I really, I respect that. And I truly value our friendship.
Yeah, me too, my friend.
Yeah. And thank you very much for that.
Thank you to have been here with me. It was an honor and was a pleasure for me to have you there. So I say you bye-bye.
Okay, and bye-bye, Phil. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you next time for the next interview. Allez, bye, Altaf. Have a nice day.
See you later, my friend.